one of my biggest mistakes with music and learning guitar was that I was really concerned and maybe slightly obsessed with knowing everything, like trying to know all the scales, trying to know all the shapes, all the chords. But, and this is really important, the true learning comes also from creation. So what I want to do right now is talk about a few chord progressions where we look at the chords and understand, first, I mean, some cool shapes for sure, but also understanding what's happening there and why something sounds cool or why does it work. And we're gonna talk about some of these lush sounds that again are associated with lo-fi, hip-hop, neo, so all these things. I will say that in each one of these 5 progressions we're gonna talk about, there are gonna be different harmonic devices that will be unlocked. So if you're really serious about expanding your chord vocabulary and harmonic vocabulary, definitely spend the time and check all these 5. Let's do it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is very simple but very specific. So there are a few key things we want to pay attention. So the chords I'm playing G minor, C, F, and D. But you saw I'm playing different shapes naturally. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing G minor 7, 9, and maybe even with this F. So this is the shape that I like. You can also just play these couple of notes, it's gonna totally work. It's also very nice to hear like a big chord. Sometimes I'll even add this D here. So it's my favorite shape, but basically what I played was this. So I get this melodic line. Now pay attention to the melody, because this is something that really makes a lot of things click. So, right, this is kind of the first section. So basically G minor 7, 9, don't be scared, but C7, flat 13, flat 9. Check this out. Let's understand the sound. Do, mi, so, si, mo. So this is C7 dominant, but I'm playing also la, this. That's the 13, but I was playing the di, la, mo, flat 9. So this is the sound we're getting. Again, I'm hearing it against the C, but I am playing E in the bass. Why? Because it's an inversion. So it gives me like this color palette. Check this out. And then simply going to F major 7 shell with this one. What is that? You know, the 6, D. So check this out in time. In the end of the video, I'm going to show most of the shapes we're utilizing in this video to create. So if you want, check out all the shapes and memorize them so you can create things like that yourself. Little melody. So I said D7, right? Or D major, but I play this shape. Why did I do that? So this is actually F sharp diminished, and this is just the inversion. So if you have an F sharp diminished, you just slide it in 3 semitones, like a tone and a half, if you will. And did I just spin on the guitar? I think I did. Okay, it happens. In any case, so I can just use that, the 7th degree, as a secondary dominant basically. I'm leading back to the G minor instead of a D7 or D major or D7. I'm just using a 7th off, which gives me this kind of like darker sound I really like. Check it out. Now, the guitar raffle is still happening. We have another week to go. You can check the link. Please, please, please don't fall in the scam traps that people are posting. I'm trying to fight all these bots and people that are trying to scam. Please, please, please don't send money to anybody. Nobody. It's not gonna happen. Like, you don't need to send money to get this guitar. You're just gonna get a guitar, okay? But can you hear it? Truly. Let's make sure that we're hearing this. So, do, flat 9, 13, fa. So really, a big deal is hearing what we're playing. And one of the ways is really by singing it. Like singing the bass and paying attention. Sometimes I would literally say to myself, internally or out loud, so, the 2, this is how it sounds, so cool. Do, the 5, flat 9, 13, I love it. Fa, major 7, with the 6. You know, really like verbalizing it, so I'm memorizing and I'm tagging information. And then I went here, and then the second time I played it, I just went to this F major 7, 9, which I love this shape, it's really beautiful, and then a little lick, something like that, just kind of D minor pentatonic. If you're trying to get good at guitar, I'm actually opening 2 groups in October. So one group is going to be really dealing with ear training, so understanding what we're hearing. A lot of guitar players fall there. They don't understand theoretically what's happening and they can't hear it. And that really kind of get people to plateau because they don't hear clearly what's happening, and then it's way harder to transcribe, to solo, etc., etc. So one group is really just gonna deal with ear training. The second group is gonna deal with guitar technique 101. We're gonna start with basic things, but we're gonna progress pretty quickly into a little bit more advanced stuff, but it's just technique. It's really the mechanism of the instrument. If you're interested, please follow this link and email me and I'll email you back. Thanks. One last time in time. And we're gonna think about so, do, fa, fa diez, the 5 or the 7th of G minor, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 7 off, 2, 2, 5, 1, lick. And it doesn't have to be this lick, right? It could be anything you want. I just played something kind of like D minor pentatonic, which is basically F major pentatonic, right? So I'm getting all these kind of sounds from that scale. Oh, okay. One of my favorite things to do is to take a top note and then reharm that top note with different chords. Because it's so beautiful, because you can hear how the tension and release happens, but you have that like constant, like that D. And the feeling changes, all of a sudden it's the major 7, and then it's the 11, it's the flat 5, it's the 5, it's the flat 13, it's the 6. So check this out one more time. I really like this kind of like changing colors against the chords, right? So this is G major 7 or G kind of major 7 9 over B. So question, in the key of B flat major, what is a 2-5-1 to the 6th degree? Drop a comment right now. I want to see that. Raise the 5 of the, just sing it. And raise the major 7 of E flat. Raise the 11 or the 4, right of A. Raise the flat 5 of A flat. Raise the 5 of G minor 7. Raise the flat 13 of F sharp 7. Raise the 6 or right of the F major 7. So it's really cool. It's really simple, right? You can take anything and try to see what you hear. Of course, the only thing that you need to do is know some shapes, which, you know, if you follow this video with me, those 5 levels, you will know some really, really cool guitar shapes. And what I would recommend is learning them and then creating right away, taking the information from the lab into the playground, always kind of messing around. Let's play it one more time in time. 3. This is very lo-fi actually. If you're not sure about secondary dominance, I'm gonna give a free video that will be on my website. You can just access it for free with this link here, also in bio, and there's gonna be a PDF explaining secondary dominant, as well as just a free video explaining that really, really clearly if that's not clear. Check this one out. So there's a very specific device that I'm using. Do you know what it is? Okay, I'll tell you. So the device I'm using is actually just playing chromatic chords to the target chord. It's a super simple device. I have A minor, so I'm playing chromatic chord to that. In that case, it's B flat to A minor. I have a chord that I want to get to, let's say D7, so I can play E flat to D or D to D flat. So I'm playing a chromatic chord is quote unquote wrong, but I'm just doing it slightly and I'm getting to my destination. The whole progression is C major 7, A minor, D major, and G7. But what I was playing is this: C major 7, B minor to B flat minor to A minor. So for me, these two chords are just passing chord to A minor. My target is A minor. And this is a super useful device and kind of train of thought that I use when I'm improvising and also when I find harmonic progressions. So I'm targeting specific points that I'm interested in and creating some motion toward them. So again, C major 7, B minor, B flat minor, maybe with this with a 9 here like this, and the bass is kind of fun. And then let's say D7, and instead of playing G7, I'm just playing chromatic chord. D flat 7 9, D7, D flat 7 9, exactly. And then why does this work? Why can I actually play D7 instead of G7? This is what we call trident substitution. When we have a chord like G7, you can see those two notes, the F and the B natural here, stay, and I'm only changing the bass. So the most important notes in a chord are the 3 and the 7, and these actually stay intact, but they flip direction. So the chord D7, I still have these two notes, F and B, but they change function. So this is the 3, this is the 7 for D flat, and for F7, G7, well, this is the 7 and this is the 3. The point is that these two stay intact and we just change the bass. Definitely a different chord, but this is why we call it a substitution. Check it out. What I do this time, I just added another one, just an E flat to D flat. So I'm just adding like a little approach. For example, I have this C, and I can just slide to it, but just slowing it down. So So very simple again, but what makes this chord progression work is, you know, I'm not playing E, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B, but I'm playing a little melody on top. Like I'm thinking melodically, so the chords and melody are really interconnected. Is that the thing? I guess it is. Right, so I'm going from the C, E major 7 with a little hammer on maybe, B minor, C sharp minor, and I'm kind of doubling this E just for the last ones, and then I play F sharp minor 7, we had this shape before, and to B7 flat 9. So check this out. Again, we want to make sure we're hearing and understanding and feeling the tension and release in this progression. So I would totally say like Mi, Do dièse, Fa dièse, Si, 1, 6, 2, 5. Right? When you sing something, you start feeling it and understanding, and instead of kind of like being confused and really like, whoa, what's going on, a lot of stuff, it's actually super simple, but very specific. And then the second part of this progression, kind of play like a little bass. Using sound voicing we had in the past progression today. So what I did is a 2-5, basically playing a B minor 7, E7 9 to the A major 7, first inversion 9 like we had before, and then A minor 6. This is a borrowed chord from the minor center. We're in E major, so there's no A minor, but I'm borrowing it from the E minor realm. But I'm getting this beautiful tension by that. I love that 4 minor so much. Check it out. Slowly and carefully, okay? 1, 6, understanding and hearing. 2, 5, flat 9. 2, 5 to the 4. 4, first inversion. 2, 4 minor. Again, very simple elements, but super lush and super beautiful. And honestly, if you can hear this progression with a lot of clarity, you'll start hearing a lot of things. The game in music, I feel, and with guitar, is to take small chunks. This is why I kind of really want to do this video today and talk about mini songs, almost mini progressions, but we really want to internalize them, right? So what I would do is really writing them. So saying 1, 6, 2, 5, and then maybe you're gonna play it in a different key. Maybe you're gonna try with a different voicing. You can do the same progression with different shapes. It will still be the progression. So just try to take it and really explore. Check this one out. I know it's a lot of chords, but I did it deliberately because I want to use a few very important devices. So first of all, let's see what's happening here. Start with sus chord, A7, sus4. You can see it also as A over, like G major over A, but it's really A sus. This one. We're in the dominant, we're in the key of D major. Then I'm starting on the 6. And I'm kind of keeping this ringing E. D major. The C sharp minor is kind of weird actually. It's kind of a weird progression to go to D. It's like kind of surprising. And then I'm playing this basically D sharp diminished, leading at 7th off the 2, leading to this E minor, which is a 2. Then I'm doing the same trick again, going to the 3, then maybe a little inversion. 13 to the flat 13, 2, 13 to the flat 13. What's important for me in this process is to try and see and hear the tension and the colors. So the 6, and this is kind of a weird one, I have to admit, it should be a diminished, but I'm playing a minor 7 here, which is strange, but I kind of dig it, I don't know, it just happened. And then 1, 7th of the 2 to the 2, maybe even with the 9 here, 7th of the 3, making it a little 2, 5 again, 2, 5, and then resolve, or back to the if you write something, you can also just take one small chunk of this. You can say like maybe that's it. Right? I just literally played the first 4 chords, and one time I kind of stayed on D, and the second time I kind of went to A sus, just looping back. So there was a lot of chords, I'm aware, but what's important here is to see the idea of the secondary dominance. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this was fun and interesting for you to explore. I love chords, and I feel like it's a really huge part of understanding music and guitar, and the exploration is always kind of dual. It's like we're trying to learn new shapes, but we also need to create with these shapes and understand and hear, or at least try to the best of our intention to truly hear what's going on. And it starts with awareness and the kind of willingness to try. So you say do, la, fa, sol, 1, 6, 4, 5, and then maybe there's more color to that. The same progression, 1, 6, 4, 5, but the colors are there to embellish the basic notion. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Peace. E major 7, you had E minor 7 with this open E. We also played this shape for E minor 7, E minor 7, 9, E7,